Caught up on chat? We're good? I thought I missed something. You got an extra Shadow Black Dragon if you want to trade for gold. Acknowledging winky face. Let's roll a percentile to find out if we have a female character, a male character, or a multi-class character. 94, we have a multi-classed character, everyone. Who then is conveniently another female. Oh, we're saving our girls for last here. Okay. Let's find out because actually this is going to determine which sheet we use. We're multi-class, so the odds are we're going to go caster. But hey, I don't know, maybe we get a barbarian something or another. We'll see. Let's roll our two classes then, right? 2d12s. 8 and 12. So we are going to have a combination Ranger Wizard. We are definitely going to be using the caster sheet. All right, so Ranger Wizard. We have a female. And now let's go back to the top. And is our fifth character going to be a short stack also? Hill Dwarf, Lightfoot Halfling, Rock Gnome. What's number 5 going to be? Okay, I got you, X-Cat. Volvo, thank you very much for that host and welcome. Pin Death, you think it's going to be a tiefling? Why don't we hit our D10 and find out? And if we get 10, we'll re-roll. Here we go. Six. Another gnome. We have a short stack party, everyone. Specifically, we have a 8. Even. We have a forest gnome. A female forest gnome ranger wizard. It's all fun size. Derek, you got it, brother. Are you happy in there? You got work in the morning, got a game? All right, Derek, be well. Yep. There we go. You gonna settle down in that box? Yes, he is. And he's down, everyone. The cat is in the box. I repeat, the cat is in the box. If I fits, I sits. That's right, that's right. Catic Blue, 10 bits, she's evil. X-Cat, just to confirm. Yeah, you're keeping the gold dragons. I got it. Yep. You want symmetry, so you want 2 gold dragons. Pindeath, congrats, you have the Lollipop Guild. Alright, well, you know what's next. Alignment. 1 good, 3 evil. Who is our last character going to be? 2 percentile die. And let's find out. $24.67. Neutral good. Good night, Derek. Bonne nuit, mon ami. The coffin calls, says Volvo. Oh my. We're generating this character at level... Let's see. 16 is level 6. There is still 1 Dragon Heist. Until probably Wednesday, if I can get more in. That's true. Sad noise. Oh, wah, wah, wah. There you go, Chaotic. Okay. Well, she can only take one feat. And as I said, if we didn't... Oh, Chaotic. Oh, the consolation prize. Thank you so much, Chaotic Blue. Someday, right? You know? Psst, come here. Come closer. The entirety of Mesotopia, and therefore Mesomasca, and by default our Tuesday campaign, wouldn't have happened if we didn't randomly roll an evil party that week. 3 evil, 2 neutral. Hey, TJ. And by the way, TJ, I still have that crocodile for you. I'm down for this stream. I was looking for a bit of chat input for a random character for a one-shot. Hey, yeah, throw it out there. We'll help you, TJ. And we only just started making this character as well. So we're going to be giving her a racial feat out of Xanathar's. Her background is that of an urchin. Okay, TJ. No problemo. Now, we did roll she was a multi-class character. She's 6th level as a ranger and wizard. Well, rangers get their archetype at 3. Wizards get it at 2. But I do want to give her a feat. So I think what we'll do is we'll make her a ranger 4, wizard 2, so she still gets her school as wizard. And she'll not only get her archetype as ranger, but she'll get that ASI that we're going to replace with a racial feat. So, TJ, you just get some cat paws from XCat. Oh, yeah, and hey, welcome back, TJ, right? And if any of you are out there lurking, you don't have to chat, but welcome to you as well. Thank you for spending time with us tonight. Now, specifically, let's determine what kind of a ranger... And, well, wizard is going to be obvious. We have a war wizard. That is our option in Xanathar's. For a ranger, however... Actually, let's do this. 4/2. And that'll save a little bit of space here. For a ranger, we have Gloamstalker, Horizon Walker... Or, I'm sorry, not Gloomstalker, Horizon Walker, and Monster Slayer. I'm going to roll a D3, and we're going to find out which of these archetypes she's going to take. 2. She is a horizon walker. We're just going to put HW for that. Actually, we can even save a little bit more space. Ranger. Wizard. There we go. Offer some catnip. Oh, and now X-Cat has now become an evil cat familiar. He's still there. He's so happy. Waves by to his sanity. Oh, all right. Let's continue with our random number generation. Gnomes start at 2 feet 11 inches, and we're going to add 2d4 inches to her height. So 6. She is 3 feet 5 inches tall. We're taking that same 6, multiplying it by 1, and adding it to 35, which is her base weight. So she weighs 41 pounds. TJ's going to continue to talk in third person until you return back from the Feywild. And her age is going to be, we rolled 17, another young adult.
All right, let's try it.
Thank you very much, Dark Wolf. We will pop open that box then. As a young adult, let's get her age real quick. Column 2. Gnomes between 40 and 120. So that is an 80-sided die. Oh, she's close. She's 115. But she's still a young adult by gnome standards. Oh, Volvo. Oh, wah wah. What a card. Is not surprised by this chain of events. Okay, that is our random number generation. Well, off of the guide. We still need to come up with personality traits, but we'll get there. Let's go to the player's handbook. This is going to flash a little bit, but Urchin is the last. Listed background. Here we go. Let's find out who she is. 2d8 for personality traits. 7 and 4. Then 3d6. 6, 3, 3. For ideal, bond, and flaw. Yeah, the deck's being really mean, huh? Alright, I'm going to set this off to the side here. And we will explore our Urchin as I pop open this box for Miss Darkwolf. Who's going to kill the last of the dragons, everyone. If the dragons go extinct, it's because of her. By being an Urchin, let's see, we get skill proficiencies, don't we? Yes, we do. We get skill proficiencies in sleight of hand and stealth. Oh, come on out. There we go. It was being shy. And Ruin. Yeah, the deck is being very ornery tonight, isn't it? Okay. We are going to get tool proficiencies of a disguise kit and thieves tools. We'll take a quick moment to break down Dark Wolf's box. We're going to start with a Goblin Fighter. After the Goblin Fighter, we have a Gray Boy. Very bulky, B-U-L-K, all capital letters, lots of bulk. Diadem's got a good pull, huh? Then, Dark Wolf, you have a Doppelganger. It's definitely not wanting to, it's doing its job, right? There it is. Doppelganger. Bulk, says Diadems. And lastly, we have an Ogre Magi. An Ogre Magi. A.K.A. an Oni. That can change into a Drago, it says Diadems. So, Ms. Darkwolf, which piece would you like? Take the Oni? Got it. And then I still have some Dragon Heist and some Monster Menagerie minis that are left. Thank you for that support, Darkwolf. Now we're going to get some equipment. We are going to get a small Kniff. Now, if you talk to your DM, they might just say, sure, you get a dagger for free. Maybe it's a lucky dagger, you want to name it. Maybe they just say, no, it's a small knife. It's a little pocket knife. It does 1 point of piercing damage or something along those lines. Maybe if it's dull or broken. It's up to you. Talk to your DM about it. Anyway, small knife, a city map, a pet mouse, or in this case, a pet something. She has a pet something. A token to remember your parents by. So a parental token. And we're going to have this be trinket number something. We'll make it a trinket. A set of common clothies. And a belt pouch. Containing 10 gapuz. Alright, Darkwolf. Thank you for sticking around. Good pulls. Let me know when you want me to bring the rest of your minis down. And we also have to take care of a couple of the outstanding minis that you have too, Darkwolf. I mean, we'll do that at the store, but let me know when you want me to bring the minis down. DMs are your friends. DMs can grant you level 10 spells also. You buy them a pizza or you give them a mini. I'm sorry, am I having a bit of a winking problem? Feature City Secrets. I think this will come in handy in a Waterdeep game, wouldn't you think? You know the secret patterns and flow to cities and can find passages through the urban sprawl that others would miss. When you are not in combat, you can travel between any two locations in the city twice as fast as the speed would normally allow. Take care, Dark Wolf. My group got a set of ion stones, one each, and he made mine better because it didn't feel good enough to him. Hey, well, if you have a DM who thinks ion stones aren't good, then, ooh, you have a generous DM. DMs, man, my players have yet to buy me pizza, but that doesn't help that they all live in Canada. That's true. Well, you see, you give them your address and they'll call it in and pay by a credit card and they'll have it delivered. Misses his home and friends and decides that it's probably... Oh, a pseudo-dragon. Ooh! Normally it just stops people from sneaking up on you, but he added +5 initiative and advantage on perception. Ooh, that's a... Ooh, alright then. You have a very generous DM, X-Cat. Make sure you say thank you to him or her. Indeed, indeed. All right. The Urchin. Her personality trait, numero uno. Number 7. Number 1 is number 7. I don't like to bathe. Straightforward. And number 4. I sleep with my back to a wall or a tree. With everything I own wrapped in a bundle in my arms. You got an iron stone in the game I play in. Boosts strength. When we rolled for our magical items we got from a quest, it's how I got the holy symbol that makes me immune to poison damage. So it sounds like you're running in a high magic campaign, and there's nothing wrong with that. As much as I'm like, wow, that's a very powerful stone, and it is for all the stuff that you have on there. Not like legendary broken tier stuff, but it's a solid item. Having a high magic game, that's fine. It can make it more fun too, because look, that goblin or skeleton could also have a magic item that does something you're like, oh, that's just a skeleton. Well, it is, but it's a skeleton that has, you know, boots of Elvenkind on, and it's doing some stuff. Okay. Oh, is it a favor? Her ideal is number 6. Aspiration. I'm going to prove that I'm worthy of a better life. Number 3. Bonds. I owe my survival to another urchin who taught me to live on the streets. I think we have an apprentice to our other wizard here, everybody. And her flaw is number 3. I will never fully trust anyone other than myself. Mr. Plunderloot, hello to you. Hello, hello. Plunderloot, we've had fun. We've been opening up some boxes tonight. We've made kind of a very interesting, compelling courtesan character. And now we have made our 5th character of this Waterdeep party. And they're all short stacks. We have a dwarf and 2 halflings and 2 gnomes. And TJ, so that's for the normal character sheets. If you want access to the character sheets that you see us use here, that's !Charvar, CHARVAR for character variant. Uh-oh, Diadems is going against the Archlich. 19 or greater, but you have advantage with a +7. Not too bad. There it is on that 15. Nice. Yes, Caddick. So we have a full War Wizard. This is only a partial War Wizard. And you know what? Given the information we have above, it seems that maybe if we want to create a character link, maybe this other character, this chaotic evil War Wizard, it might be adopting or kind of playing on the circumstances of this apprentice. One second. Next time we make a race as a group, can we try and make a large character race? We can consider something like that, XCat. I mean, it's gonna have complications and concerns. Is it impossible? No. Especially because D&D is mutual consent by everyone at the table. Break whatever rules you want. All right, now, the trinket she has that reminds her of her parents. Let's randomly roll that down here in Chapter 5, Equipment. And this could perhaps give us a little bit more insight into who she is, or who is her family? What happened? Let's roll a percentile and find out. 24. Wouldn't have that been something if we rolled another 27? Wouldn't have that have been something? But still, a 24. Trinket number 24 is a multicolored stone disc. Farku, thank you very much for coming along the journey with us. I appreciate that follow. I hope you've been having fun. $27 was another trinket that we rolled for the character just prior to this one. And it would have been interesting then because it was a piece of broken obsidian. So if we rolled that this character also had the broken obsidian, maybe there could have been a connection in some way. All right. An apprentice would make sense. Now, she is primarily a ranger who's just recently started picking up some levels of wizard, probably because she's serving under this mentor who isn't telling her everything that he does, but is probably going to try and, you know, teach her and manipulate her in some fashion to come around and be a part of Xanathar's guild. Zularpai, so her nickname might be Stinky. That is a... yes, it could very well be Stinky. What if the disc shows pictures on the wall if light is shone through it? Yeah, something like that could be possible, XCat. It projects some kind of an image. Maybe the image is of her parents or of an odd location or something along those lines. Maybe that's what interested the wizard, who's rather selfish, to take her up as an apprentice, so that he can try and learn the secrets of it. But for whatever reason, only she can unlock it, so she has to teach him. He is a gem cutter after all, so something like that would hold his interest. It could be something like that, XCat. Let's go back to Gnomes. Intelligence increases by 2. And our speed is 25 feet, giving us 12 climb, 12 swim, 0 fly. We do speak Common and Gnomish. We have Gnome Cunning. which gives us advantage on mental saves versus spells. And then we have... Oh, and dark vision 60 feet. Forest Gnome. Dexterity goes up by 1. We are a natural illusionist. So actually, I'll just put that over here in cantrips. Natural illusionist. You know the minor illusion cantrip. Intelligence is your spellcasting ability. Okay. And we can speak with small beasts, which will come in handy because we have a pet. Right? A pet of some kind. By Urchin, it says a pet mouse. It could be a mouse. It could be something else. In our Tuesday game, Bright has kind of a pet cricket. It's like kind of a bigger cricket, but hangs out with her. It's now a familiar. Yes, Kat, come to the dark side. We have cookies. Could a multicolored disc be like a crystal ball for fortune telling, but more compact and easier to carry? Yeah, maybe there's a fortune telling of some variety. Maybe it could spin like a little wheel, or we could take this in a lot of different directions. And you know what? That's part of the point of why trinkets exist. Diadems, now my Tyranny Dargo set is complete. XCat says there are gnomes, and gnomes you find gnomes in the outback of Australia. Sorry, got lost on the second. Oh, because like good day. Good day is good day. Gnome on the range. I love the puns. The puns must flow. Okay, you did get the gold? Awesome, my man. I look forward to seeing them all assembled. And then make sure you menace your players and say, we have options, everyone. Encounters for days. Classes. Okay, she's multi-class, so we're gonna do this. Class Wizard, Class Ranger, Archetype Ranger, Archetype Wizard. Yep, Pouty. His collection is now complete. We're going to go to Ranger. And while this is a multi-class character, we're going to build her Ranger first. And then we'll look at Chapter 6 for multi-classing and throw on Wizard on top of that. Nice, Diadems. Well, if you want me to clear your box, just let me know and I'll get it sent out. It'll probably go out on Monday, but I can get it in the mail. Well, hopefully my shipping guy is okay. Okay, so a Ranger. Ranger's going to get stuff. We have 4 levels of it. Oh, and by the way, I forgot. We get a racial feat, too. And we're going to get... There we go, if I can type. We're going to get a feat out of Xanathar's that is gnome-specific or gnome-accessible. Ranger, we are going to get Favored Enemy. We are also going to get Natural Explorer. At second level, we are going to get a fighting style. We'll open up spellcasting. We're going to get our archetype at 3. And we're also going to get Primeval Awareness, which lets us expend a spell slot to kind of ping a sonar around us. And 4 is going to be our ASI, or our feat in this case. So let's continue. Rangers are D10 hit die classes. So we have 4 D10 from Ranger. Armor proficiencies: light, medium, and shields. Weapons: simple, martial. No tool proficiencies. And strength and dex for our saving throws. Skills, we can choose 3 from animal handling, athletics, insight, investigation, nature, perception, stealth, and survival. Let's take a look at her background. What would have shaped her skill set? Animal handling sounds appropriate, right? If she kind of mucks around with stray dogs and cats and other animals, maybe she's used to, in a non-magical sense. Of course, Ranger could open up some other options, but maybe she's used to helping that. You know, maybe she does know how to ride a horse. She was taught. Even as an urchin, maybe she did some courier service or something along those lines. So that's popping out at me. Probably stealth, because she doesn't trust people, and she was taught to live on the streets. When she sleeps, she has her back to a wall or tree with everything she owns wrapped in a bundle in her arms. Survival might not be appropriate. I think her urchin background would give her sort of an urban ranger survival. I mean, it'd be for tracking and whatnot. This is a different type of environment. So perhaps perception. So I'm thinking animal handling, perception, and stealth might be her preferred skills. If you think differently, please let me know. It's just a radio button I can click. we can switch it around. Animal handling, perception, and stealth. Oh, we already have stealth by virtue of our urchin. Never mind then. I sleep with my back to a wall. I'm going to prove that I'm worthy of a better life. My survival to another urchin who taught me to live on the streets. I'll never fully trust anyone other than myself. I guess that would be insight. Could help scrutinize. Is this person trustable? In part or whole? Insight might work. Diadems will be the master of the Feywild. Roll a d20 to master the Feywild. Wow, if it just comes down to that, that was that easy, huh? The whole time. Diadems, I popped a copper tonight. Yeah, there's a copper floating in the loose minis right now, Diadems. Well, no, wait. Tonight, Diadems? No, it wasn't you that popped the copper. It was Derek. Derek got to choose between the Copper Dragon or the Half-Black Dragon Lord. Hey, King of the Fae, Archfey behind you. says Pin Death Guard. I'll take insight over survival, though you could flavor it as urban, I guess. But my vote is insight. Okay, now I got a chaotic. Oh, when did I get drawn into this, X-Cat? You guys can fight over the Feywild. You're welcome to it. Let's see, real quick while we're here. We're 4 levels. Well, all right, so we're technically a 6th level character. So our proficiency bonus is +3. But we have 4 levels of Druid. So we know 3 different spells, and we have 3 first level spells. Oh, hang on. Spell slots are going to be weird. I'm not going to do spell slots yet. So hold up. Hold up. We'll get back to that. Don't worry about spells. Let's see, scale mail or leather armor. She's kind of scrappy. She's dexterous. So we probably have another more dex-based ranger, I'd imagine. 2 short swords or 2 simple melee weapons. Clubs. Sickles. Let's see her fighting style. If she took 2 weapon, we could give her something light for an offhand, and she can do some 2 weapon fighting that way. Pardon me. Her fighting style is a D4. Number 2, defense. When you're wearing armor, you gain a +1 bonus to AC. Okay. So her fighting style is defense. In that case, she has a dagger already, so she's probably just going to take the 2 short swords. Which she can use on decks, by the way. They are finesse weapons. A Dungeoneer's pack. Oh, yep, she's going to go delving, up or down. Dungeoneer's pack. And then she's going to get a longbow and a quiver of arrows. 20, and we've used 0. Oh, 200. Ha! 20, and we've used 0 of them. There we go. Quick, a Nilbog is coming to get the jester. Yeah, poor me, Chaotic. What did I ever do? Oh, diadems. Low rolls, man. You attempt to attack the Archfey, but you fumble, and they all laugh, thinking you just embraced your position as a court jester. Can she use some sort of reach weapon? She does have martial proficiency. As a part of her starting package, I don't think there's a reach weapon that's available. She has ranged, and then she has 5 feet. She could use a greatsword if she really wanted to. Well, I guess it doesn't have reach. Some sort of a polearm or a pike or the like. Just going through the standard, this is your starting package. She doesn't have one of those available as a simple weapon. Although by level 6, especially if she's the apprentice of a wizard, she'll probably have access to something like that. Here's an idea. Learn the Archfey's real name, says Pendeathguard. Spears aren't reach weapons. I'm fairly certain. You can throw them. I don't think they have reach on them, though. Favorite enemy. Beginning at first level, you have significant experience studying, tracking, hunting, and even talking to a certain type of enemy. Choose a type of favorite enemy. Aberrations, beasts, celestials, constructs, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, giants, monstrosities, oozes, plants, or undead. Alternatively, you can select 2 races of humanoid, such as gnolls and orcs, as favorite enemies. We have an urchin. She's growing up in an urban environment. I almost want to say that she would have favorite enemy as beasts, right? So she knows how to hunt and stalk, you know, the creatures that would live in a city. I mean, that could extend, you know, should you leave the city. But that, to me, that makes sense. Though, as we explored in Waterdeep, maybe she lived by that cemetery where people don't stay dead, and the undead are around. Maybe she hangs out in the sewers and there's a bunch of oozes. Pocket Punch. The 8-ball says, Fool. You lose a level, discard this card, and draw from the deck again. So here, I will replace your EXP so you can draw again for free, Pocket Punch. A hatred of giant rats. There's some vermin of unusual size. Zulorpai, you say oozes? You think that she's like an ooze stalker? Natural Explorer. You're particularly familiar with one type of natural environment and are adept at traveling and surviving in such regions. There are 8 different regions. And so maybe she went out, she was taken away at some point, she received some training. Maybe that's even where she was, you know, she picked up hunting oozes as an urchin. And now let's roll a d8 and find out which biome she's especially proficient in. Five. Arctic, coast, desert, forest, grassland is 5. That could even be the fields outside of the city. She didn't even have to go that far. Beast might have a good sense of smell, but oozes wouldn't. Stinky stalks oozes. I like your style, Zulurpai. Stinky stalks oozes. She has the defense fighting style. Spellcasting, we're going to get to. In multi-class, that can be a little wonky. It's not difficult, but there's a consideration. So we'll get to that soon. We'll get our archetype at 3, and we'll also get primeval awareness, which is that kind of our sonar sweep around us. And our ASI is going to give us a feat. So, with that said, let's pop over to Xanathar's Guide. We rolled that she is going to be a Horizon Walker Ranger, which is on page 42. Horizon Walkers guard the world against threats that originate from other planes or that seek to ravage the mortal realms with otherworldly magic. They seek out planar portals and keep watch over them, venturing to the inner planes and outer planes as needed to pursue their foes. These rangers are also friends to any forces in the multiverse, especially benevolent dragons, fae, and elementals that work to preserve life and the order of the planes. Horizon Walker features Horizon Walker magic, detect portal, planar warrior, and that's going to be the only one that she's going to get. Starting at 3rd level, you learn an additional spell when you reach certain levels in this class, as shown in the Horizon Walker special table, or spells table. The spell counts as a ranger spell for you, but it doesn't count against the number of ranger spells you know. So, protection from evil and good. Horizon Walker. Protection from evil and good. we will also get an ability called Detect Portal. At 3rd level, you gain the ability to magically sense the presence of a planar portal. As an action, you detect the distance and direction of the closest planar portal within 1 mile of you. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. See the planar travel section in Chapter 2 of the DMG for examples on planar portals. As well, we are a planar warrior. As a bonus action, choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of you. The next time you hit that creature on this turn with a weapon attack, all damage dealt by the attack becomes force damage, and the creature takes an extra 1d8 force damage from the attack. So, planar warrior, 1d8 force. Well, I guess it's just d8. And then it's all force. The Archfey feels you do not wish to be here and offers you a way home, but you must tell him a joke that makes him laugh in exchange. If you fail to do so, you will remain as their jester. Hey, Chewy, good to see you. If it's a Horizon Walker and they don't like ooze, that means the ranger came up against Juablex, or however that demon is named. Yeah, we could flavor it as such, because there is a demon prince of oozes. We can kind of straddle the fence and say, well, she picked up stalking oozes as a kid, and maybe she'd follow him through the sewers and the gutters, and so she learned to pick on him. And maybe one day, an ooze that she was stalking led her to some kind of an area in the sewers. Maybe a cult was opening a portal or something. Maybe she was inundated with magic, or she just took an interest. And, so the little ooze that she was following kind of slunk away. Heck, maybe her pet is like a little jelly that she holds onto, like a little baby jelly or something like that, that she feeds. And so now we have something related to her background, but that goes into her class. What was a Dryad's favorite social media platform? Vine. Chaotic. Kames, hello, welcome. Good to see you again. Chewy, that is always how I game. In what regard, Chewy? Okay, so we've built our ranger. Now, it's at this point in time that she falls under the apprenticeship of the War Wizard. So before we apply War Wizard, let's go to our player's handbooks. Come on, students. Students. Chapter 6 in your player's handbook. Hey, I see you in the back. Get your book out. Come on. Chapter 6. Customization options, everyone. This is how we multiclass. Oh, yeah, Chewy. It's a good way to... It makes you invested in your character so that it's not just a bunch of stats that you generate numbers from, right? Oh, Pin Death Guard gets Skull. So, Pin Death. PDG. Death Guard. Guard Death Pin. The next time, if you go into ! Random Tomb and you win, I will double your experience because not only did you beat the tomb encounter, you also beat death inside the tomb. Cadidums. Huh? What, Teach? Look at that. Oh my gosh. Look at that. He's so happy. Okay, so to multi-class, you have to have, here, there are prerequisites you must meet. And if you multi-class, you must meet the prerequisites in your prior class and the class that you're going to go into. Therefore, as a ranger, we need to make sure that when we assign our scores, we need at least a 13 dex, 13 whiz, and then as a wizard, we need a 13 intelligence. Okay? So that's a consideration. Now, when we are going into wizard as a multi-class, we get no proficiencies. We don't need to worry about channel divinity or extra attack or unarmored defense. Though we do need to consider spellcasting. And we'll get to it. There seems like a lot, don't worry. Kames says, so I was looking at this idea of a ranger with a pet or pets. But for that matter, I would also think it could work for a wizard with a cool familiar. But could said pets or familiar be played by a player? As in, they would play the role of a pet instead of their own separate character. I think you could very easily do something along those lines, Kames. Now, when it comes to pets, unless your DM says otherwise, you're an animal that probably has 1 hit point and an AC of 13 or whatever your dex is. So it'd be a challenge, right? To play some kind of a sentient pet. Or even a non-sentient. You just have the intelligence of a dog. And the person takes that as a roleplay challenge. What would a dog do? Or follow the commands. I could see that as being possible. It would be a roleplay challenge, and I'm not saying that to dissuade anyone from trying it. A familiar is going to be a little bit different because you have an innate psychic connection to your wizard or whomever summoned you. You have intelligence. You can make attacks and these other things. So a familiar is an awakened animal that can do a lot of extra things. A pet might not as much. Because even a Beastmaster Ranger, you grant your pet saves and abilities and a bunch of other bonuses because you've trained it or you're guarding it, things along those lines. So I would talk to your DM and hash it out. I think it would be a cool idea, though. Chewy says, I have a half-elf that was flavored drow. He was a follower of Elistry. He was arrested and set to be executed so a solar, like a solar angel, offered him a pact and gave him the opportunity to run. After a few levels, he became a cleric of Elistry. I don't know who Elistry is, unfortunately, Chewy. Delcorin, hello! What was my last part of my tomb? So you go into the tomb, a vampire appears, you rolled normally. Pin death, so Diadem sniped the 1d20 from you, and so you still have to roll a 1d20 pin death. Oh, a good drow goddess, okay. Oh, you need 1d20. Exclamation point 1d20. Worship of her is penalty of death. I would imagine so. Not even a death penalty. You'd probably just be a sacrifice to lol for your flagrants. There you go. Stops on a 10. So Pin Death rolled a 10. Let's go back up. You need a 15 or greater, and you roll normally with a +5. Congratulations, Pin Death. You just barely managed to beat the vampire, and you get double EXP, so you get 1,200 EXP for it. What an unfortunate end, X-Cat. So, rip diadems. All right, your capacity for spellcasting depends partly on your combined levels in all your spellcasting classes, and partly on your individual levels in those classes. So you determine what spells you know and can prepare for each class individually as if you're those separate levels. And so we'll get to that. For spell slots, you determine your available spell slots by adding together all your levels of Bard, Cleric, Druid, Sorcerer, and Wizard. And half your levels rounded down in Paladin and Ranger, and a third, well, we don't need to worry about the other ones. So we are, half of our Ranger level of 4 is 2, and then we're going to add those to our 2 levels of Wizard. And so we have 4 as our total. What that means is this. As a multi-class character, along the lines of the math that we were told, we are going to have 4 first-level spell slots and 3 second-level spell slots. There we go. Yeah, Pindeath, that was a clutch shot you got on that vampire. It had you there for a second, and then you ended up maybe pulling that stake out of your boot and right up into its heart. Okay. So there's our spell slots. The next thing we're going to do is take a feat from Xanathar's for gnomes. Here we go. Racial feats on 73. Gnomes get Fade Away or Squat Nimbleness. Let's take a look. Fade Away. Your people are clever with a knack for illusion magic. You have learned a magic trick for fading away when you suffer harm. You gain the following benefits. Increase your dex or int by 1 to a maximum of 20. Immediately after you take damage, you can use a reaction to magically become invisible until the end of your next turn, or until you attack, deal damage, or force someone to make a saving throw. Once you use this ability, you can't do so again until you finish a short or long rest. I think as an Urchin, I think she's going to take that one, huh? So as a feat, she's going to take Fade Away. And let's put that point in... Int or Dex? She's smart, she's clever, she's an urchin. Let's put that in intelligence. Kind of want to put it in Dex, but I think she's a really bright girl. And that's why she was taken as an apprentice. Returns the body of diadem to its proper location. Okay, so diadem is getting returned for a proper, like a burial in there. You attempt to save... You attempt to Dave diadems. Rolled 1d20 medical. Revive? Why did I type Dave? I don't know, X-Cat. I wish I could tell you, man. Okay. Let's go back. Nope, you go back to the tab. let's look at Ranger real quick. By 4th level, we're going to know 3 spells of 1st level here. So we have slots for higher, but we don't have spells that can fill them. Which means we can cast our spells up, if that's an option, but we don't have 2nd level spells. Now what that's going to mean... Actually, we're going to get that Natural Illusionist. Here we go. We get 3 spells. So we're going to call this R1. At 2nd level, we knew 2 spells. R1. And then we got our 3rd spell at level 3. So actually, I'm sorry, that's Ranger 2. Ranger 2. And then Ranger 3. And the spells known stays the same until we hit 5th level. So there we go. Four and 3. There we go. Ranger, Wizard. Wiz, Int. In that order. Poor Diadems. Hopefully you all can find him and help him. Help that man! Alright, now we're going to go to Wizard. Over here. And remember, in multiclass, it says that we don't get proficiencies. So you see this section that says proficiencies with all this other stuff? Forget about it. We will get all of the other stuff, including, by the way, if we come up here, we have 2d6 hit die from Wizard. We are also going to know 3 cantrips. So Wizard 1, Wizard 2, and Wizard 3. I'm a big believer. Label this stuff so you can help track it and know what's happening. You do not get the starting equipment unless your DM says otherwise. And so we're just looking at now what we get aside from proficiencies at 1st and 2nd level. Well, we get our spellcasting ability. And we also get Arcane Recovery. Once per day when you finish a short rest, you can choose expended spell slots to recover. The spell slots can have a combined level that is equal to or less than half your wizard level rounded up. Now, we're sharing spell slots with Ranger, but that means that we could use our Arcane Recovery to get a slot back, and we can cast a Ranger spell through it if we'd like. It doesn't just have to be for wizard spells. And then, of course, we get our Arcane Tradition, which is War Wizard. And that's all we're going to get from being a wizard. So let's go back to Xanathar's. And go to Wizard. Wizard. Here we go. War Magic. We get Arcane Deflection. At 2nd level, you have learned to weave your magic to fortify yourself against harm. When you are hit by an attack or you fail a saving throw, you can use your reaction to gain a +2 bonus to your AC. Ooh, she has all kinds of AC and reactionary. She's very twitchy, and I think that's appropriate. Arcane Deflection. And of course, she can turn invisible, too, because of that. She also gets Tactical Wit. Starting at 2nd level, your keen ability to assess tactical situations allows you to act quickly in battle. You can give yourself a bonus to your initiative rolls equal to your intelligence modifier. Woo, nice, huh? She's going to have a pretty good int and dex alike. So, good. She's very twitchy, isn't she? Very twitchy. Okay, now let's go back to Player's Handbook. Because as a wizard, you get 6 spells in your spell book at 1st level. Which, and also, by the way, Wizard 1, Wizard 2, and Wizard 3. Here we get Wizard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then at level 2 as a wizard, you would get 2 more spells normally unless you're buying and copying spells from other people. She's an urchin. Maybe she sneaks peeks at people's books, or she steals them or bargains for them. Maybe she followed an ooze. And part of finding the portals and getting exposed to that could have been she picked up some spells. Still, a vanilla wizard, she is going to get 2 spells at level 2. But as a wizard, you can't cast level 2 spells yet. So we have a lot of spells we can cast as a ranger or wizard, and we can up them to 2nd level powered spells. But we don't have any actual 2nd level spells left. And I hope that makes sense. If you need me to clarify or repeat something, make sure you let me know. Because multiclassing isn't terribly difficult, but there's a couple extra moving parts you do have to pay attention to. Okay, now we can go back and let's drop her scores in. Let's develop the character. Remember, when you multiclass, you have to meet the prerequisites of your original class and the one into which you're expanding. And that meant we needed at least 13s in Dex, Wiz, and Int. Doing that, let's see. Probably, if we did the 15 and the 13, that could be good. And then a 14, so we're clear there. 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, and Charisma. Look, as Zulurpai calls her Stinky, if Zulurpai is calling her Stinky and can smell her from here, she probably doesn't have the best charisma, huh? So that's going to pop Intelligence to a 16, Dex to a 16, and Wisdom's going to be at a 14. So that's a 1, 3, 0, 3, 2, -1. Do we need to distribute Diadem's things? I guess. So if you all look at the miniatures that Diadems has accumulated, I guess we got to hand them out to everyone, since he no longer is in mortal need of them anymore. Saving throw is going to be 4 for strength. Athletics is 1. Dexterity 6, along with sleight of hand and stealth, and acrobatics is 3. Con is 0. Intelligence is going to be 3 down the line. Wisdom is 2 with the exception of skills, which are 5. Proficiency skills. And charisma is just going to be -1. We're going to Control C and discreetly Control V all of the charisma down here. She's not the best at that sort of stuff. Now that we have this, and remember, she took the feat instead of an ability score improvement, we can start assigning some more numbers. Her passive perception is going to be 15. 10 plus her perception modifier. That's her natural awareness, so you as a player don't have to roll a bunch of dice. Armor class, leather starts at 11, plus dexterity is going to put her at 14. Initiative is going to, it would normally be plus 3, but because of War Wizard, we get to add our intelligence, so she actually has a plus 6 initiative because of intelligence and dex. Hit points. This is something to note for a multi-class character. As a ranger, she is a D10 hit die. So she gets the full 10 from her very first level as a character, not necessarily as a ranger. Then, for her other 3 levels of ranger, for the full of 4, she's going to get half plus 1 of her D10, right? Half of 10 is 5, plus 1 is 6. Then for wizard, you don't get the full 6 of the D6 as wizard. You've already got that initial bonus at level 1 as a character. So that means for both levels of wizard, we're going to go half plus 1 on the D4. Then lastly, for all 6 levels, because this is based off of Constitution, she would get 6 times her Constitution modifier and bonus hit points. Now, for this character, as we have it, it's 0. So we don't have to worry about that. This goes to an 8. This goes to an 18. We have 28. Plus 8 is 36. At level 6, she has 36 hit points, as we've created her. Weapons that are dex-based, which are all of them that are present, because of finesse for the dagger and short sword. We could use strength if we want, but finesse will allow for dexterity. We're proficient with all of these, so we are going to get a plus 6 to hit with them. Dagger is 1d4, and we're going to throw in the 3. Short sword is 1d6, also plus 3. And a longbow is 1d8, also plus 3. Piercing, piercing, and a piercing. Now for your spells, something to consider. In this case, because we don't really have lay on hands or other things that are going to consume a second slot, if we want, we can go... we can label this as like ranger slash wisdom. And over here we can put wizard slash int. Because our spells are going to be divided between those mental stats. You don't get to cast just through one. If you are a warlock druid, all your warlock spells are off of charisma, all your druid spells are off of wisdom. Which is also why things like this, that give you minor illusion based off of intelligence, which would be to save to look through the illusion, that's specifically on the writer that gives that to you. Because if you are a forest gnome that is a warlock, that's a warlock druid, your minor illusion's based off of int, your warlock is based off charisma, and your druid is based off of wisdom. I hope that makes sense for you all. If you need me to stop, I mean, you're having a lot of fun here, and I don't want to interrupt that. But if any of you out there, if you're lurking or even participating, and that's sounding really wonky, let me know, and I can go through and explain it, and we can go over it again. So for our wisdom spells, our ranger spells, our attack is going to be 5 if we make an attack spell. And then you add 8 to discover how difficult it is to resist those spells. So 13. For our wizard spells, however, even though we're picking that up last, she's always been a bit of a bright girl, it seems. She may be stinky, but she's also thinky. She stinks, she thinks, but most of all, she blinks. So if we follow the same formula. Well, it does say total and used. Let's just pretend it says DC and attack. It's actually going to be a +6 for wizard spells and a 14 to resist our wizard spells. Fluffy sheep, I stink and I know things. There we go, fluffy sheep. Fortunately, Minor Illusion isn't a spell that often requires a spell DC. That is correct too. But they put it in there just in case, because who knows? Who knows? Oh, there we go. I stinks, I thinks, but most of all, I slinks. There you go. Enjoy some fun bonus stuff. And you know what? She has earned herself a name. Maybe she has a proper name. Maybe she remembers her family name. Maybe she's forgotten it and she's just known on the street by something. Maybe she was given a name by her wizard mentor. Multiclassing as a warlock sorcerer would be nice then. It works, yes. Yep, it does indeed, Kames Pact. That's also why paladins tend to like multiclassing into sorcerer to pick up more spell slots. So you can cast spells also through charisma, and you get more spell slots to just smite everything around you all day, every day. Oh, and you know what? For a backstory, we go to Xanathar's guide, right? Because as a ranger first, she picked up wizard after that. But let's go back to ranger and get some of her quirks from Xanathar's. Because that is how she started. View of the world. Homelands. 1d6. Number 3. Towns and cities are necessary evils. But once the wilderness is purged of supernatural threats, we will need them no more. So she seems to begrudge the city that it did keep her alive, but it also seemingly kept her in poverty, and she probably finds much more bounty and wonder in nature than she does in the cruel, the concrete jungle of a city. Homelands. 2. As part of a group of nomads, you acquired the skills for surviving in the desert. Alright, now, as we've been developing the character, this may seem jarring, and you run across that. Like, not everything can play together nicely with everything else. We can still use this for prompting. As a part of a group of nomads, so maybe as a part of a group of urchins, and we already learned that she's made friends with one of them who taught her how to survive in the city. So as a part of a group of urchins, you acquire the skills for surviving in the city or in some other region. Or we could just keep it open and say you acquire the skills for surviving in Waterdeep. Because I'm sure Waterdeep has a unique brand of urchin that is just a product of the city. Thank you for running this side game, XCat. It's been interesting to follow along. And lastly, we have a sworn enemy. D6. 3. You bear no enmity toward your foe. You stalk such creatures as a hunter tracks down a wild animal. Yeah, I mean, can she be upset that oozes just do what they do? You know, she tracks them down like a cat would stalk a mouse to eat or to toy with or have fun. You know, so she's hunting oozes, and in a sense, even she's hunting portals as well. And she's doing this. Maybe she doesn't have anything against demons. Like, it caught her attention. She knows that bad stuff can happen, but maybe good stuff comes out of portals too. So she might take hunting down oozes and portals with this kind of detached, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We're going to approach it. We'll take care of it and go from there. You're fine, Chaotic. We're about done with the process. I'm glad that you're having fun. Do not apologize or feel badly. You're here to have fun, and whether that's listening to me go on about a multi-class character or having this really good impromptu roleplay in the side chat, I'm happy. You are here and having fun, and that's exactly what I want you all to do and enjoy. So here we have it. She just needs a name. I mean, she does technically need spells as well. But for this segment, I mean, because we can go through and pick out spells that are going to, you know, tell her story. I think we have a good start of her. You know, what would be the wizard spell she was given by her apprentice, her mentor, who's in the party as well. You know, what would she have picked up as a ranger? Well, we can go through and fill in those details because we have the assigned slots. But I don't... For what we do here, I want to encourage creative spell choices, but because I also will end up loosing this character sheet on our Discord to you, maybe you want a different spell suite than what she has, and you can have fun with it. If any of you, by the way, are lurking, thank you for doing so. It's nice to have you all aboard. If there are those of you who haven't followed here on Twitch or joined our Discord, there's a link to do so, and I invite you. We keep it safe for work. We keep it, you know, like no worse than PG-13. It's very creative, and it's good to interact even when I'm not broadcasting. So you are welcome to come aboard and be a part of things there. I meant to multis, just wouldn't do one with two different spellcasting abilities. Too confusing. Well, but that's why if you get a character sheet that's kind of like this, right? It gives you plenty of space. Or if you make spell cards, Chaotic Blue, because there's various ways that you can do that. It does make it a lot easier on you to be able to multi-class like this and split your 2 hits and saves in 2 different sort of mental stats. You want to name her Uriphina? Is that the entirety of her name? Does she have a last name, or I guess Zulurpai wanted to call her Stinky, so that could be something that people call her. First part, Zulor Pi says Uriphina is a good name. Kames, on multi-class, I like the idea of taking 2 levels in fighter for my warlock. Part due to being able to use armor and weapons. Part in order to have a round of more blasts. But is there some other downside other than losing out gains from the last 2 levels of Warlock? Let's see. So you would not reach Eldritch Master. Right, that's at level 20. You would still know all... Hang on. You would still get your maximum 8 invocations by 18th level, so you don't lose out on invocations. You lose out on Eldritch Master, which does what? At 20th level, you can draw on your inner reserve of mystical power. You can spend 1 minute in treating your patron for aid to regain all your expended spell slots from your Packed Magic feature. Once you regain spell slots with this feature, you must finish a long rest. Okay, so you can get your slots back. And at 18, you don't miss out on a cantrip. You would miss out on 1 more spell known, but you don't miss out on spell slots or slot level. You would still get all of your... You'd still get all of your expanded spells if you go 18 levels of... if you go 18 levels of it. You'd still get your Mystic Arcanum. And you would still get all of your patrons. So Dark Delirium is 14th level. Hurl Through Hell. So yeah, you're missing out on very little if you go 18 levels of Warlock and you splash 2 into Fighter. Fluffy Sheep says, you really should look at it as being 2 levels behind wherever you would normally be. Sure, you'll lose out on Eldritch Master, but you only have that for a tiny part of the game anyway. Yeah. Yep. If your Blade Pact being a part Fighter isn't bad, in that case it's normally better to start as Fighter and multi-class into Warlock, so you get heavy armor. Alright, well, you know what? We have, besides picking the spells, we have a character that's fleshed out and ready to go. We have our 5 short stack characters this week. 2 of whom are good, 3 of whom are evil. Setting in Waterdeep. This is going to be interesting to plot a campaign for tomorrow. You don't want too much Fighter, though, because you get 2 attacks anyway with an invocation. 1 level is really enough. You can go with 2 for Action Surge. Little splash here, little splash there. Your DM might have you explain, why you're splashing one thing or another. Is that really big? It's up to your DM. There we go. Uriphina, a.k.a. Stinky, to those who know her, has been made. So I'm going to get up, and I'm going to take another break, and then we'll come back, and we can have some open conversation, a little bit of talking. I don't know how much later I'm going to be staying up tonight, as I got to get some things done tonight for tomorrow. But we'll definitely come back. You all, please, continue role-playing over here. You don't need me to be active for that. Continue role-playing. We'll come back and see what there is to see. Talk about a little bit of stuff, and we'll get things wound down for the evening and go raid someone. In fact, depending if they're still playing, there's a 3.5 tabletop campaign that's going on, and maybe we can go pop in and say hi to them. If any of you played 3.5, it might be good to get a little bit of nostalgia in. But it's a fun group. Yes, Delcorin. Let's take a break and we'll come back.